welcome to RPG Reanimator's actual play It's Alive, where we're playing through Kingdoms. And everybody's a really good guy just looking out for the betterment of the kingdom, the world rather, of Calradia. Calradia? We can debate over, it's a big world. You guys can debate over how it's
Written by the
pronounced.
victors.
Yeah, exactly. So our four players are each royal in their own way, having awoken from their tombs and really just taken over the local populace. And I don't think a single one of you is winning the popular vote among the people at this point. So let's real quick reacquaint ourselves for those that haven't gone to the session zero. Marceline, you want to talk about your kingdom and your current leader?
Okay. My kingdom is Laval, which is nested in the valley of the island off of the mainland. The island itself is reminiscent of, I believe, kind of like Iceland. There's a giant volcano, and then the rest is
Yep.
like, Arctic wasteland. Other than
Yeah,
that,
a black
Laval's
ice. Yeah.
yeah, Laval's kind of nestled, in the valley between the volcano and the glaciers. Marceline herself, the unsleeping, was awoken, but she never sleeps. So she was just placed there for reasons. Her tomb was opulent and filled with grandiose offerings from whoever placed her there in the first place. And that's how she kind of rules her kingdom, is like this opulence, this decadence, this expectation of luxury.
Love it. Let's talk about Valthros.
Ah, Balthros the Builder, peon mortals bow before me. Balthros was awakened from his tomb, ostensibly from the people of Zelaros to right some evil or do something for them, but he simply took over, disappointed with their lack of progress in these thousands of years from which he's slumbered. So now he rules them with an iron fist. We live just up the road from Marceline. We're next door neighbors and besties, and I'm building, or Valthros, I guess, is building, has put his entire population to work on the lip of this active volcano to build the most metal kingdom that anybody could ever build. Black stone, giant statues of screaming people. It's great. It's good stuff. Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Ulrich the Imprisoned.
Ulrich the Imprisoned originally comes from the stars, and he's crash landed onto this feeble continent that will slowly be shaped by corpse rock, where because it's a disease that he's spread from the stars amongst the local populace that changes their skin, and when they die, they turn into these slabs of rock. Now, Ulrich has landed in silent shrublands and has basically subjugated everyone there. And he's good neighbors with Emperor who came from the sea.
All right. And yeah, let's finish off with the Destroying Angel.
Yeah, Emrafel is he was awoken by the nomadic seafarers of the south of the silent shrublands who found his cathedral and buried deep beneath the water. Um, and he thought that their religious beliefs just were not held firmly enough. And so now he's trying to spread the gospel, spread the word, the good word, of course. And if you don't
Hmm.
believe in the word, then we're going to have a discussion about that.
And it usually ends up with them staked
Yeah.
to the ground at low tide. And yeah, it's truly unfortunate. Excellent. And to level set what we're looking at here, the world of Calradia is dark. There is no sun. The technology level is very low at the moment. It will increase over time, but at this point, you guys have just discovered wine and beer. Nobody really reads or writes because that's not a thing that's been invented yet. You have torches. You might eventually have more technology and that sort of thing as you're building up your world. But most metals you don't smelt. You might find like bronze or something and work with it. But that's about it. You do have the wheel, so that's positive. So Valthros, you're probably a little ahead of the curve in terms of this building. Like your structures are probably more impressive than what you see through most of the world.
The lowborns must see these citadels and cower before them.
Mm, love it. Well, we're going to start this particular game in the middle of Calradia. Calradia, I'm going to say it both ways. Don't worry about it. In the kingdom of Israelia. This is a trading kingdom that is centrally located. Lots of people go through here, and all four of you are very familiar with it. It is a lot of tents mostly. It doesn't have a large built up sort of structure to it. It is ruled by King Grozar, who calls himself the Merchant King. His people call him that, but you would probably all refer to him behind closed doors as the Pig King because his people and their wealth comes from their herds and herds of pale white giant pigs that are roaming around the city. So when you're talking Australia, it imagine this horrible stench in the air and just kind of constant pig squeals breaking out in the background. You might hear a tusk going into somebody every once in a while when they piss off the pigs a little too much. And I want us to start the four of you and maybe a retinue. You can tell me exactly who you bring with you, but you are in the market for this place. It is loud, it is bright, which is kind of rare for this because there are so many of these pig fat torches burning at all times. So, what have you brought to trade? What's the kind of feeling in the marketplace as the four of you are there?
I'm disgusted by all of this. And you can just like I'm oozing just um oh my God, my words today are not coming to me. Disdain for like all of
Yes.
this. This is
Yeah.
disgusting. I've brought with me some obsidian, some of it fashioned into jewelry, some of it into kind of crude weaponry, but and I have a small retinue, like 5 or 6, people that I consider, like they're not going to embarrass me by being here. So
So, what are your people dressed like? Do they also dress kind of finely and they mimic your attitude?
yeah, I expect, especially from traveling with these people, I expect it. There's going to be furs, of course, because we live on an ice island. So lots of furs, heavy wools, things like that. I actually don't know what would be considered accessible at this period of time. Like probably not silks and things like that, just because
Probably
I'm not,
not. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah,
I like the idea of just decked out in lots of furs, and you can see your people below you are sweating up a storm
of course.
because they come
Not
from
cold
this
here.
cold
Yeah,
climate, and
yeah.
this is a status bit. So when you think of Marceline, think a look of disdain, and then behind her, all these sweaty counselors and
Yeah.
helpers trying to set up and sell these obsidian goods. What about the rest of you?
Now, have we all met one another before, or is this initial meeting time?
You can tell me what you want.
I think you and I, Valthros, definitely know each other, right? Like, I think we
Yes.
talked about spies and each
Yeah.
other's cities, but we all
Yeah,
kind of
it's
know
open
about it. We're
secret.
like, ah, you
Open secret. Open secret.
I
do,
think
yeah.
I think go ahead.
No, I was just saying, do you two know each other? Does Imrafel and Ulrich know each other? That's what I was just asking.
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
So then do we want to say our two groups know each other, or
Yeah, I mean, I would know Valthros. I would know of Valthros because
Mhm.
I collapsed one of his heretic temples after he was gone.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't think I would have ever met him before.
Okay. Maybe so we know of each other. Our reputations precede us, maybe.
Exactly. And I, of course, find your opulence to be very unholy.
Okay, of course. Sure. And I look down on your zealot, your zealous nature. Just like,
Yeah,
ugh,
my villages are ugly as hell. They're not
yeah.
opulent at all.
Then you smell fishy. Disgusting.
Hmm.
What is Imrafel bringing with him? What's his kind of backup?
Well, Emrafel has not come to sell. He has come to receive because he has with him um his heir, if that's okay, that I brought my
Yeah,
heir. Yeah,
absolutely.
who was born from a disfigured, blessed mother, um, of virgin birth, of course, and presented her child to Emrafel, and he identified it as having the mark of the angel on it, um, from him distributing his soul amongst the people. And so now he's brought his heir to receive gifts, um, and good tidings from all of the merchants, or they will become his enemies and be killed eventually.
So are you showing off this child, or is it like in a little tabernacle or something like that?
Definitely. No, it's going to be in a giant wooden, like coffin like structure that my retinue is just carrying around, and it's veiled so no one can lay their filthy eyes upon it.
I love it. Valthros or Ulrich? What are you
Okay.
selling? Yeah.
So Ulrich arrives with a convoy of 5 wagons hauling slabs of practical corpse rock. At my side, I have a young counselor and a logistics person in training, Merith. And Ulrich very much keeps to himself. He watches. He might sample some of the pig.
And how do you think the people around in the city of Australia, how do you think they treat your followers? Because your followers are
Turning to
changing into
stone, yes.
slate.
I suppose to keep a healthy distance, should they contract anything, but that's not how it's contracted. They don't know. They should know, but they don't.
They'll find out. Yeah, they're kind of leading their pigs around. So I'd like to imagine, Ulrich, you kind of have this protective berth around you.
I'm
And
powerful. They've
Valthros.
just
Yeah.
parted ways.
And Valthros.
Valthros is resplendent in his attire and his retinue. As much as I don't know if textiles are much of a thing we have right now, but
I think
you
wolves,
know,
right? Like probably
Probably. I
they're
have
all
the
furs,
trimmed.
wools, things like
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that.
they're
think that makes sense.
they're trimmed and they have these little like obsidian sigils like sewn in through all of it. But the retinue as well, we come. I'm here specifically because I've heard that Ulrich, the imprisoned of the Dominion of Infinity, is selling corpse rock. In our lands, we call it mournstone, but yes, the finest materials in the land. And what have I brought to sell? I don't know. Valthor's is kind of a boring guy. He just brought money, just a bunch of money. Greenbacks. No, he's got deep down in the pit of the volcano, churning up through the lava and the magma flows are these like precious metals, jewels and lodestones and things like that the
Hmm.
earth vomits up. And I have my people go in at great risk to their own lives to receive such things.
Yeah, that
So
checks out.
yeah.
Checks out. There's probably a few people there that have very burnt hands and scars across their body from the heat?
I
Or
don't
do you
bring
not
those
bring them?
people. I
Okay,
don't
okay,
bring
you
those
leave those
people.
aside.
I bring my fanciest people. And
All
with
right.
me is let's see. His name is Surat. He is my chief stonesmith, here to ascertain the value of the corpse rock that Ulrich is that we are intending to purchase.
Love it. I love it. And the group of you, yeah, then let's say you guys are kind of seeing each other across this. What's the meeting look like at this point?
Yeah.
Lady Marceline,
Valthros,
a
excellent
pleasure
to
as
see you as
always.
always.
Yes, yes.
I
Smell of
will.
these. Oh,
Oh,
mhm.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Nope, after you, please. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I will go over to Ulrich and go like, "What's up?"
Yeah, you dap him up.
What up?
The
Ulrich, we're
customary
we're
greeting.
homies. Yeah,
It's
we're
good
we're
to see
good.
you, Emrafel.
Yes, good to see you as well. I see that
Looking for
you're.
anything in particular?
No, I've just come to present my glorious heir to the heretics and see if his presence alone can convert them.
Ah, you brought your heir.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please, a wagon of corpse stone just for you, and I'll present it for
Oh,
you.
you're too kind. I will send you a. I'll send you a few slaves.
Well, we don't call them that, but
Servants.
servant people.
Prisoners with jobs.
Yes, the
Exactly.
people you don't mind if they end up looking a little funky, perhaps. Yeah, and this corpse rock, it's got kind of the face of the people still in it, right? Like you can
Yes.
see their
It's in
their
like the
pained
reflection
look.
because the surface is flat.
Very good.
Valthros, what brings you to this aggressively mediocre sty?
Indeed, quite. I hear Lord Ulrich the Imprisoned is here with his corpse rock. I wish to acquire as much of it as I can for Zelaros. I'm
I
sure
heard
you've seen the towers and the spires being erected.
I have. They're quite impressive. Congratulations on your architectural achievement.
Mm,
I would be careful about that corpse rock. I hear those people, they have an odd look about them. Seems
mm.
contagious.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I'll have my scientists and astronomers look into the matter. I'm sure it will be fine, but an empire built of infectious stone. I can think of nothing better than to keep these peons in line. And I backhand just somebody walking by, like
Just a random
just some
person.
random. Be
I'm
gone, low
hoping
blood.
I'm hoping to acquire firstly, the long winter is coming quite soon. I'm hoping to acquire some crops for storage. Must keep those that eat these things satisfied, keep them alive, I suppose.
Yes, yes. You
And
speak, you speak as if you are not one of those that devours the meals of the lowborn. Pray
I
tell.
I have finer tastes than all of that.
Ah, yes, I see. I
You must come over sometime. We've been cultivating a delightful wine.
Ah, well, indeed, yes. I think from our small island, I think perhaps our two nations should get to know each other better.
I agree. I agree. I've heard, oh, there's that Imrafel. I've never met him in person, but the look about him, it must be him.
And I
I've
thought the
heard.
pigs smelled bad. It smells like a fish market in here already.
I heard he was bringing his heir. I wonder if the poor boy grew that extra second arm ever or
Hmm.
something. I heard he's quite odd looking.
Perhaps a bemusement to pass the time then, staring at the
Mm.
little freak, but yes, to business then.
To
Let's make
business,
ourselves
indeed.
acquainted.
Okay, yeah, I think it's great the two head over, and Ulrich and Imrafel probably are the strangest looking people here, because Imrafel as well, you're not human per se. You are very fishy, and I think you even have little like flipper wings, right?
Yes.
goodness.
Lord Emrafel. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Greetings.
Tell me.
Well, I hope you've improved your faithfulness since I last met your people.
Hmm. I assume that was when I was deep in slumber in my tomb, eh?
Of course, you would have presented of a challenge to me.
Yes, yes. Well, I must admit the lowborns that took over after me were quite a disappointment. If only I
Hmm.
could kill them a second time, I would.
But and I'll tap my giant pillar. I've been admiring your handiwork for a while.
Oh, yes. One of mine from when I was younger. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days indeed. I'm on to bigger and better things, you know. Lord Ulrich the Imprisoned is here, and I plan to purchase as much corpse stone from him as I conceivably can. What brings
Hmm.
you to market today?
Well, I'm here to proselytize and spread the good word.
Hmm.
I have my heir with me, a
Oh,
beautiful child with the mark of the angel upon him.
oh. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the young lad. I'm sure if he's anything like his father, he'll be quite a sight.
I like to
Well,
imagine as you're saying that, like from that little wooden thing, there's just like a this kind of weird
yep,
baby scream croak.
a horrible noise. Of course, I will be expecting gifts from you.
Oh,
Gifts of good tidings for my heir.
hmm.
Of
Well,
course, of course. And I'm like snapping at one of my assistants and they bring out some like fine obsidian jewelry. Like, of course. Something to
Well,
adorn the young prince.
thank
Congratulations, by the way.
thank you, Queen Marceline. You're quite kind. This is the finest obsidian glass.
It's very sharp though.
Hmm. Yes, oh,
Although, of
do be
course,
careful. And of course, a dagger for the young lad whenever he starts his training.
ah, excellent. Of course, he has no need for material things at all, but this will impress. You know, proselytizing, you need fancy stuff to do it, right?
Of course, of course. Lord Ulrich, it's good to see you as well.
Good to see one as ancient as I. Always a pleasure. And I will gracefully bow.
Oh,
We should meet up for some afternoon tea sometime, yes?
that's a delightful idea.
And I think about at this point, you are hearing these pig squeals in the background start to rise, and you're seeing almost a little herd of them push through, and a man walks out that is nearly indistinguishable from these pale white pigs. You recognize Grozar immediately. He looks to be chewing on some tuber that he pulled out of the ground. The roots are still going around, and he's bald but hairy in a way that's disconcerting, is just these
Mm.
long hairs growing out of random places. But he's a very jovial kind of person. Ah, my royals are here. Why did no one tell me? It is so good to see the four of you in one place, finally.
I
Uh,
look at him and then I go, hmm. And I turn and say, Lord Ulrich, Valthros the builder, I've come to procure a large quantity of corpse stone from you.
Damn.
Valthros, there will be time for this later. This is no time for such talk. I've come with wonderful news for royals such as you. Uh, uh,
Mm.
and yeah, he's picking up Valthros's kind of disappointment. And you see he's got that merchant in him where it's like, no, I just gotta win him over. Uh, Perhaps you've not heard that the roads to Torg are open again. Did you not hear? They lit up but a day ago.
Hmm, this is excellent news.
Truly, this is perhaps I have you heard the tales of Torg out in the
For-
marble flats?
Forgive us, my lord. The news of the mainland takes a little bit longer to reach us on the island. Do tell.
Torg is the one with the Hermit King. Perhaps you've probably not heard of him. It's some great kingdom from back long ago, before the marble flats were destroyed in the state they are. They claim that at one point there were fields and bountiful food there, but of course you wouldn't know that at this point. But I've heard that the king is looking for an heir, and he would like to meet those with the god's blood, such as we. And he is bigger than the low bloods Grozar is, so there's probably a little bit of that royal blood in him. Not as much as you, of course. You stand a good head or two above him. But I will say, let's talk about the Marble Flats. What have you heard? I want to have like a sort of collaborative fact that you guys have heard about this kingdom of Torg. Tord. Tord. What did I put on the map? Tord. I said Torg. I meant Tord. Of course. Torg's on the other side. It's long gone.
I've heard that the marble flats are composed of these strange buildings. And by strange buildings, I actually mean compressed skyscrapers from long ago.
I've heard that if you find just the right one, perhaps you can enter it and go down, down, down deep below the earth. Who knows what dwells down there?
I had heard that these massive beasts roamed the land and they had once been domesticated, but now they've gone quite feral.
Yeah, I heard that the old king went into hermitage after his queen destroyed his kingdom in a fit of rage.
I love it.
Should have certainly picked a better spouse then.
Oh, I did not realize that you had taken. Congratulations on the nuptials. Balthrus, you are. Never mind. It's not important, I'm sure. Huh?
It's
Of
not.
course. Yes. I see that now. Um, but if it would please you, I think I would like to go along with you if I could take the time to go. I do not know what kind of riches this man has. I do not even know what he is like, but I have been told that at one point it was a great kingdom, so perhaps there is some gain to be had, and of course I'm happy to let you have it. Think of me as a facilitator.
Hmm.
We'd be glad to have you. The roads are quite dangerous. It's better to stick together.
Indeed.
I
As
heard,
fast as the lights came on, they could go off again, and it would make me feel much better if we were to have your lights with us.
yes, and I've heard some tales of monsters that roam the marble flats.
I have heard those as well. Those that.
What stories have I heard about the marble flats?
Ooh, I'm gonna make you roll. Let's do a roll. Make a
We can roll.
will roll.
All right. That is
That should be a
which die?
D20.
D20.
Yeah.
Add the will or subtract it?
You want to be at or
Under.
under. Yep.
Yeah. All right. I rolled a 6, so that's definitely under.
Yeah, that sounds like it's under.
Yeah,
You've
it's under.
heard right. There are a couple of creatures there. There are things called the fingers, and they're very spindly, cold creatures that hide out in these ravines and will pop out and stab people and bring them back. You've also heard of creatures called the dancers, and they kind of move with the wind and they'll pick up things and take them. But you've also been told that long ago these roads that the land, this Tord kingdom had, they were safe to travel on. The lights made a barrier against these creatures. So as long as they're on, it seems like it should be a fairly safe journey.
Okay. I will keep that to myself.
Well, in that case, why don't I gather my animals? We'll make a right trip of it. Travel in style, of course, Marceline. Eh, we nothing less would do. And Imrafel, you can bring your own. What better? What better use to? I've seen your illustrious heir. What better case for the hermit might even bless him?
Do we need your fine swine on the road, though? Is that quite necessary?
Um, right. I suppose we could do without. I could travel with. I'm not entirely comfortable leaving them here, if I'm being
Oh, well,
brutally
far be it from
honest.
me to tell you how to travel, then, of course.
Yes, I'll bring my most beautiful animals.
Oh, okay.
And it is difficult to tell. He does bring out, as you're going, some better washed pigs, perhaps. And let's do a road sort of scene here. If somebody would like to roll a d20 for me, let's see what you find as you start to travel
Oh, I rolled a
across.
20.
A 20,
Don't know if
you
that's bad or
say?
good.
Oh, is it not a d20? I'm sorry, roll the d8.
Well, fine.
I got a 20 again.
Yeah, you got
Five.
a
I
20.
got a 20
20.
again.
Dang it.
5.
All right. Imrafil, you're vaguely aware of what you have seen along the road here. But as you are traveling, you see this massive hill in the distance and about the size of a truck. It's just like this kind of dome there. And as you get closer, you realize you've seen that kind of blue before. It's one of those beetles that you have that clicks and makes that noise, but of a vast size.
God, this is holy ground. I've heard that the hermit may have worshipped a heretical sect of my religion. Perhaps the original sect. I'll be interested to meet him.
What do the others think of this beetle as it's moving its way? It's kind of cracking the salt beneath its feet as it moves.
I'm thinking of how useful it can be to me.
I'm thinking how like beautiful it is because if it's like iridescent
Yeah, yeah.
chitin. So yeah, I think it's just quite beautiful.
As long as it doesn't get in my way, it can be on its way.
It does not appear to be aggressive in that way. It's slowly grabbing things. And we'll cut again to the five of you and your retinues, of course, arriving at Tord. And you do have these crushed skyscrapers, although you would not see them as such, these square rectangular buildings compacted into the ground. They surround what was once the city of Tord. Now what's left is maybe rubble and a pyramid in the middle that these lights have guided you towards. And I didn't mention this because I'm not thinking about it, is the road you come in on, it does have lamp posts as we would think of them with these glowing lights. They are beyond any technology you have at the moment, but they do glow brighter than your torches even do. It's very impressive. but the pyramid itself does not appear to have any of those as you are getting to it. And you can see within there is a it opens up again into a square area. Who is the first to enter?
I'll enter.
I was about to say one of our servants.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much.
Send the other guy, the other lord whose name keeps it's not Grognard. Keep thinking it's Grognard. It's not.
Grognard, the Grumbler.
I'm opening up a whiteboard. We had a question on how hit points are calculated. The answer to that is you don't have hit points yet. Hit points would go against your damage you receive. At the moment, your health is your strength score. So that will get knocked down as you take damage.
Gotcha.
All right. And let me go to page 2 here. Can
Whoa.
everybody see this image?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Wonderful. We'll see how this records. So you send whose servant gets sent ahead? You said you're sending the merchant.
That's just
correct?
my thought. But
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'll be like, Merchant King, at your leisure, please.
Of course. Quite. I suppose I should make the introductions, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should.
I I think I would want to go in with the Merchant King, and I'll bring my biographer with me,
Yes.
just in case something cool happens. I want him to write it down.
In that case, Imrafel and Grozar enter this pyramid, and you can see the wonderful map that I have drawn. There are pillars that lead up but are capped off. They're not holding anything up, but they're very large. They're a couple people wide, and there are torches along the edge of that are burning. In the middle of the room, that wonderful art is all swords, axes, and they have a metal that you have never seen before. It is not quite silver. It's a little bit darker of a gray, but there are little flecks of red that seem to flow through it, and almost like a lava lamp as you're looking, they bubble around and change. It is the color of human blood, Imrafel. It might be different than yours, but that is kind of the sense there. Again, this is not a metal you have ever had, and they still look to be quite sharp. The lower of the rectangles is a large, what's the word I'm looking for? Plinth? Is that right? Little staging area, kind of this
Dais?
top areas. Yeah, it's a little higher. And on top of it, there is a dining table. And Imberfell, you can see behind it, there is this massive, about 10-foot tall, cloaked figure. And he is tearing into a meal that is very clearly a person. Like he's straight up ripping like a leg off of a torso, like it's just a piece of chicken, and is just biting into it below this hood.
Interesting. I will uh I will pick up one of the swords and examine it. I'll pick up the coolest looking sword.
Yes, it's from your perspective, this is pretty incredible. None of your craftsmen are at this level yet. It is still sharp, although you do see a couple of nicks in it. It has seen battle, but you wave it around, the heft is quite good.
Hmm. I will hand the crappiest looking sword to Grozar and say, in case this creature is not entirely friendly, Grozar.
Yes, I'm afraid I won't be terribly much use with this weapon, but thank you, my lord, for thinking of me in this moment. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, we come here because we have heard you are seeking an heir. And the figure on this table moves its head up, pulls back the cloak, and you can see they are a member of the Yuna race, the Cyclopean people, although his eye is gone. It has been cut out very clearly with scar marks around, and he's licking his mouth. There's just blood dripping down the chin. And he's the oldest creature you think you have ever seen in your life. The skin almost looks to be melting off of him as just wrinkles galore on this guy. And he just sniffs. Demon. It's been a long time since I've seen one of you.
Who is he talking about?
It's difficult to tell because he's blind.
Yeah.
At the moment, though, it is only Imrafel and Grozar in the room.
Okay.
Greetings.
Are the rest of the livestock yours?
They will be in time.
He, grabs a cup, is quaffing it. Did you not bring any of my people? Have we fallen so far?
Much like you, your people have sought hermitage.
Magic.
Do you still keep the faith, my friend?
Keep the faith. Yes, I have kept the faith. For thousands of years, I have kept the faith. And what has it brought me? My people brought low, my lands abandoned, destroyed.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
The Lord has abandoned us. And he hurls a cup towards your feet, clattering towards across the floor. Bring the rest of your troops in here. I would have them hear what I have to say.
All right. This guy's treading close to heresy, but I will bring the rest of the people in because I think I'll probably get fucked up by him.
Yeah, the others can come in, and you as well see this individual. He is pretty disgusting looking, just draped like that. And as you are entering, he is sniffing again, and you can see it's like he's kind of getting the sense of it. I see a little bit of it in you. A little bit of the old blood. You are from before, aren't you? The eyes are just looking across.
I think he's talking to you, Valthros.
This creature would speak to me? Pathetic. Look at this wasted kingdom of yours. And I pick up one of these like swords. Pathetic. Throw it away.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, it clatters and you can hear his
The silence is
head
deafening.
turns. Yeah. Those swords are for those who thought they could uprise against me. They thought me weak after a few hundred years. Pathetic. Pathetic. They called me the king of the fields at one time, and now I'm to give up my kingdom to the likes of you.
What do you call yourself?
I'm Craig.
Craig?
Kreg. It's fantasy. I just realized now it sounds like Craig. Craig. Damn it.
I think tensions are running a little high here, Craig. I think everyone needs to simmer down and make merry. Carouse.
You will find no such thing in this place. I would rather eat your kind. Even you, Starfarer. Is your planet not enough that you have to come and join our fight?
I'm doing this because I have to.
Pathetic. You serve things that you don't even understand.
Tell
Well,
me, Lord Craig, what are you hoping to accomplish then? We all live in peaceable times. Why not go reclaim your kingdom, reclaim your people, join the trade?
he stands up and draws a dagger
Okay, well, that's
from
that.
just off the table, like a one, and you can see it's clearly been used. There's blood all over it. He kind of points it roughly in your direction.
Sure.
What do I want? To join the livestock? When I was king, we would have feasts and banquets of what you would call now royalty. You just do not see how far your pathetic race has fallen.
Well, you're not king of this land any longer, Lord Craig. So your choices are then to go claim your kingdom and join the trade of this land, or fall. It's quite simple, really.
Astute. In fact, I had come to the same conclusion myself. So I wanted to see the best that your race has to judge you before I let you attempt to reclaim the light. You may fight for it. I will have no part of this. And he takes the dagger and just
Oh,
and falls across the table with a definite thud. The table cracks under his weight and slams to the ground.
Pathetic waste.
What a
I
waste of flesh.
I'm going to run over to him and say, "Oh, this was a heroic man."
Yeah, you can see he's got almost embedded in his flesh. He's got little more of these like bloodstone kind of trinkets, rings. He is at one point was rich, perhaps. You're getting close though to this table as you are looking, and you can see behind him there is a cage in the darkness there that the door is creaking open.
Oh
And
shit.
yes, and you see it looks like he had been holding it closed basically with his actions. And a clawed hand comes out as a creature that I will paste into the Discord because I absolutely love the art for this game. Da, 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 da. This
Oh,
fur, right? It's kind of a backwards little hand, and charitably could be called a lion, although it almost looks like this soft fur is just kind of stuck on the back of this pale skinned thing. And Imrafel, it's in particular looking at you as its mouth cracks open wider than it should be. Its mouth extends past the edges of its face as it starts to cackle. And we're
Write
going
this
to
down,
go.
biographer.
We are going into combat at this point. So this is combat proper. Um, the way that this will work, and I've definitely thought this through entirely, is we're not in person to have a bag. Usually what you do is you throw everybody's initiative in a bag. So what I will do is, how do we want to do this?
If we all have the same initiative, why not do like a random name generator between the four of
Yeah,
us?
let's do that. I'll just cut this part out because I'll go back and find it.
You could also have everyone roll a d20, and whoever has
Sure.
the
Yeah, do
lowest or
that. Do that
highest.
because I'll just roll that as well. That's fun. It's like initiative.
6.
11.
Okay. I see a 5 from Marceline.
I
Type it in
actually got a
chat.
nat 20.
All right.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
In that
let's
case,
go.
this actually works out nicely because I will let Marceline, you will go first because it is
Okay.
also a 5.
Okay, so I see this thing, and
Yes.
that's terrible.
Oh,
And
I'm
it
sorry. Let me redo that. We'll go high to low in this
Okay.
case. So Imrafel, but I mean Marceline, you'll go before the monster does on your
Got it.
turn.
Hmm.
Imrafel.
All right. I will I think I will bend over Craig and cry for him because he kept the faith for thousands of years. And I will let this monster attack first because I don't give a fuck. I'm a cool angel guy.
Oh,
Oh boy. Okay.
That's
I
a
love
power
it.
move, bro. I love
Bold.
it.
I
That's
respect
Love it.
that, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you.
that's very cool. We'll see if that's fatal. Valthros, I believe you're next.
Well, I see this weak, pathetic fool bending over this other weak, pathetic fool ready to die. It's all coming down to me. So I kick up with one foot like a giant, like two-handed axe, one of these metal axes,
Mhm.
and overhand like throw it directly at this beast thing.
Absolutely. Very cool. Go ahead and roll a an axe of damage. I don't have it right in front of me, so let's go a D8, I think.
Come on, baby.
Because in
4.
this game you do not roll to hit, you just do the damage. And that sounds
4
metal as hell.
damage.
All right. Very cool. And I believe if we are looking at this, you do have 2 actions. So I'm going to count that as your 2 is basically kicking up this axe and uh, throwing it into its side, and it does spurt out this kind of vile black blood onto the ground. And Ulrich.
Okay, so this is what happens. When I see danger, right, I'm gonna call one of my servants over and have them look towards the danger, right? I'm gonna be standing behind them. And what happens next is I'm going to put my hand on his back and slit his throat.
Ooh,
Because what happens is he starts to turn into stone. His limbs fall away and his head falls off, and I'm using him as a shield now. And out of my other arm is the meteoric axe. And that's my turn.
that's very dope.
Metal.
Yeah, do a will save for me.
Okay.
I want to see if your people are too scared, basically.
I rolled a 1. Is that a good thing?
That is a great thing. Yes.
Okay.
That is. I suppose we should really do initiative the other way if we're going to do this. As low is better, but for this time we'll do high is better. I'm too ingrained in that. Yes. The person leaps to uh
Serve your country.
anything for you, Lord.
Uh.
And yeah, you have this kind of stone
Torso
shield.
shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to imagine your hand basically broke through to grab the spine. That's
Yeah.
the handle. Valthros. You already went. Ulrich went.
Mhm.
Marceline. There we go.
I think I am like, so we've established that these weapons are beyond the level of technology that we have seen
Yeah.
before. I'm actually kind of admiring, like leisurely, like they've got this. So I'm like picking a weapon. I am picking a weapon, but I'm gonna take my time with it. Which one looks the nicest? Does it have a nice inlay? Does it have a beautiful hilt? It's very, very casual. I left my retinue outside, so it's just me in here. So I'm picking a fine sword for myself.
Hmm. I love it. You're looking through these. There are some quite nice swords. Maybe even some with little gems of some
Jewel.
kind.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Mm. uh, and then it is this creature's turn. And Imrafel, you are the closest to it as it is crawling up towards the back of Craig. And it just looks down on you and it just starts to do this like hyena cackle that reverberates around the interior. Everybody go ahead and roll a d6 and take that much will damage.
Ugh,
Or
yikes. Yeah, I also got 4.
So that reduces our score for will by that
Right.
amount.
Yep. Make sure you keep the maximum because you can recover it.
Oh,
That
I
was gonna
see.
be my
I
question.
see.
Yeah, was it
Yep.
recoverable or not?
That's why
Yes.
there's a maximum column.
Indeed. Yes. It is possible. In fact, drinking is an excellent way to regain some will. All right, that is its turn, and we are back to Imrafel.
All right. So now I'm enraged at this creature for mocking the death of a good saint of our religion. And I will rise up and grab my massive stone pillar and smash it directly in the face.
All right, roll damage. You just wail it into the table a
Yeah.
bit.
What is the damage?
I think we said a d6.
Perfect. 3.
3 more damage as you smash it. It bounces up against the table. Valthros. And to give you an perspective as I'm saying this as well is it doesn't you've hunted before. This is the equivalent of like, yeah, I punched something, but it's still going. Like it's taking these in stride, these hits that are being inflicted upon it.
Hmm. What is the building that we are in? Is it stone? Is it a tent? Like
Yes.
what
Yep.
is
It is a stone pyramid. So the roof kind of goes up to an apex above you, but there are these stone pillars around. We'll say the floor itself as well has stone tiling on it. Although
I
you've
see.
probably tracked in some salt along with you.
As I am Valthoros the Builder, can I observe the environment and see if there is a way to collapse a pillar upon this thing, or even the
Ooh.
pyramid, nature's weakest structure, onto this creature?
Yeah, make a will check.
Will check. D20, get
A
under my
d20,
will.
get under or equal. Equal is also good.
Ooh, rolled a 3. That would do it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the three's great. Um, yeah, I'll say that you realize that these pillars, if you can get this creature near them, you could knock one of these over onto it with a good hit. You're a pretty big guy, so you've identified a place to hit them to topple them.
Wonderful. So I don't know if that's an action to just identify that, but
Yeah, yeah.
with my other action, I am going to grab the Pig King by the scruff of his neck and throw him
Ah,
in front of a pillar, and then point at that
ah.
creature to get his attention, and then point at the Pig King in front of the pillar. Like,
Oh,
bastard. Love that.
do a will check at this point,
well,
please.
come on, babe.
I want to see if you can get this thing's attention.
I got a 12 out of 12. I just made it.
Okay.
So,
You
huzzah.
see it's turning its head to look at this individual who I'm now rolling. Okay. He's shocked. Velthros, why? As he tumbles in front of the pillar and this creature is looking at him, but
The
you don't have
pathetic
time.
deserve to die.
Oh, Ulrich, it is your turn.
Uh, I'm gonna defend the Pig King.
Mm. So you're going over to like stand in front of him with
Yeah, and I
the
will
shield.
plant my shield.
Ooh, I
It's
love
okay,
it.
Pig King.
Of course you would help me, Ulrich. Of course.
get out of here.
Ah, I will
And
on my turn.
I will defend until his turn.
Okay, I love it. Marceline.
Um, so is this thing kind of distracted by the Pig King slash
Yep.
Ulrich?
Yep. It's definitely looking like it's going towards them next.
I'm caught between just letting it do that and taking an action. I think I will just observe.
Okay.
They seem to have things well in hand.
Okay. It then bounds from this table towards Ulrich, who has the shield. It is just slash slash. And it is doing a good God. See, this game's safe as houses because I'm rolling for these things. Oh no, wait, that's a 6, not a that. Okay, so it does 9 damage
9 damage total in 2
Ooh.
in
swipes or
total.
1?
Yep. 2
Okay.
swipes total.
Okay.
Which would be 1 and 4. I'll let the shield can apply to both.
Okay.
So
1 and 4.
yep, after the shield.
Okay. I also have my slate skin. So that's also an armor.
Okay, yeah.
And I also have my leather armor as well.
Ooh, all right.
So I have 4 AV.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But
All right.
I guess I still getting hit, right?
Yeah, you're still getting hit. You still take 2 out of that.
2? All right.
Yep.
So, and this is not, I can never recover this HP
No, you
because I
can.
am, no, I
Uh,
have fire blood.
HP is separate from
Oh,
strength.
okay.
Yep,
Gotcha.
strength you can get back. Hit points are additional on top of that.
All right. So I have 12 now. Now, does that affect my rolls where I'm rolling under 12 instead of 14 now?
Only if you're doing like a strength check. For
Okay.
most like attacking, you don't roll, so it wouldn't affect that. But yeah, if you were trying to topple a pillar, you are now weaker to do
Understood.
that.
All right. So the shield holds, the armor holds, but as the claws rip into my skin, my stone skin, these sparks kind of shoot out that remind you of stars.
Very cool. Very cool. And Imrafel, you're seeing this thing basically leapt past you and is attacking Ulrich. What are you doing?
Is it near the pillar?
Yeah, it's near the pillar, we'll say. Because the Pig King's kind of it's creature, Ulrich, Pig King, pillar.
All right, I will my skin will kindle blue with electric flame, and in my rage at heresy of this creature, I will attempt to charge and topple the pillar. But as I'm doing that, I will tell Ulrich and the Pig King to leave so
Okay.
they don't get crushed.
All right. Go ahead and do a strength check, and we'll see what this pillar looks like.
Perfect. And that's a D20, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, yeah, pass.
All right. In that case, Ulrich, go ahead and make a dexterity check for me. The creature will not. It's just gonna get smoked. Go ahead and roll a
Oh, I
D10.
failed.
All right, roll a D10, Imrafel.
Ow!
Yikes. Sorry. Oh, you're good. I only got 3.
Oh, okay. So I block it all
Mhm.
and like parry it off, swipe it away.
Yeah, and again, this so you kind of like took out the pillar from one direction and it slammed down, and you can see it kind of glanced off this thing's leg, and it hurt it, but it's still kicking, and the light in this area
I'm thanking
is
my loyal servants.
gone. Right. We'll say it's that pillar. Uh Valthros.
Wonderful. Great. So I see there's no light now in this section, right?
That is correct.
Perfect. I work great in the dark. So I wade into the darkness with my hammer as my eyes glow blue and allows me to see. And I get up like just near this thing and two-handed, like I want to crack down into its like skull area
I
with
love
the
it.
hammer.
Yeah, go ahead and
What
roll
what
damage.
damage does the hammer do? I don't know if we ever said that.
Probably a D6. I'm defaulting to D6 for a lot of these because that appears to be like
D6.
uh Either that or a bone club is a D4, but you ignore a point of armor. Doesn't look like this thing has armor. So let's go
Do
with a
D6. Let's
D6.
make it even. Oh, 2, unfortunately.
Okay.
Not as good as I like.
Yeah. Slammed. And yeah, again, this thing is sturdy. It's powerful. And Valthros, you were confident as you're getting into the dark. But yeah, as you're kind of getting up there, you're realizing it's from and of the dark. This is kind of its home territory. Ulrich, what are you up to?
I will raise the axe up into the air and use the art. I will spend 2 decks in order to charge this weapon up.
Ooh, all
So
right.
next turn I will attack with 2 additional damage die.
Okay. All
Ooh.
right. It shines. Very cool. Marceline.
So is there a penalty to fighting in the dark?
No, I wouldn't stay in the dark. So in this world, there's still enough light, but if you go off into the dark, people don't come back generally. So you always want to have a torch or some kind of light there.
Okay. And we can, there's enough torchlight to see this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose I'll join the fight. It's not, uh, you know, I'll get in there. It seems distracted enough. I can always duck out if needed. But I have this beautiful sword, and I may as well wet it, right? So
Ooh,
go take a stab at it.
I like
No
it.
blood, no glory, Marceline.
It's true.
How much damage does
Do a
the sword do?
D6, and you'll also have a sword art. I probably should mention this. For those that are using the sword, you have a 1 in 6 chance of counterattacking if you spend a dex.
Okay. That is a 5.
Okay, that's a good sword as you stab it in. This is probably the first time you've seen it. Like, it's been slammed and slammed, and finally you stab it and it hisses. And who's it gonna go after? I've got 3 options. I'll roll a d3. Um, Ulrich, you lucky dog, you.
Oh no.
It just reaches out, grabs your shield, and the others watch as Ulrich is dragged back towards the corner of this pyramid out of the light, just kind of dragged, almost the shield bouncing along the ground. And it's very dark back there at the moment. Imrafel, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go. So are the torches like implanted on the wall, or could I just pick one up?
You can pick one up off a pillar. Yeah.
All right, I will pick one up and I will take the sword that I picked up and try to save Ulrich by stabbing. Or I'm actually gonna try to cut off one of the legs of this creature.
Oh, okay. You're doing a called shot. Not sure exactly what that's going to be. I think
Strength,
basically, yeah, do a
hopefully.
strength check against it. Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Good, because I have amazing strength and terrible everything else. Oh, 16. That's not gonna cut it. Nope.
That very literally. I'm just looking to see it because there is a rule, and yeah, I love rules. I believe yes, you may attempt to destroy an item. Yes. Okay. Go ahead and do it at advantage.
Awesome. Yes, that time I passed.
Okay.
9.
You will basically end up the little peek behind the curtain. These animals all have items that you can get from this. You're basically destroying an item you can get later for now. But yeah, go ahead and roll damage as you what are you trying to cut off there? It's got claws. It's got very long legs. It's got that jaw.
Um, I think I'm gonna cut off one of its arms.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, there's another spout of that black blood, and Ulrich, you see the arm. You're right up next to it, is just writhing on the floor. But it's Valthros.
Did I notice that the when Marceline stabbed it, that the weapon she was using, one of these swords that have been on the ground, was like that weapon was more effective against this creature? Does that make sense?
Yes, it's only in the way that it is a better weapon. It is just doing more damage because it is a better, stronger weapon.
I understand. Okay, great. Okay, then I won't worry about it too much. I will run up and I see what the Lord Emfrail has done, severing one of these creatures' limbs. So I think I'd like to do the same and try to smash one of its other legs apart, or even its
Okay.
jaw. If I can, like,
Oh, let's do jaw, because I have a thing for that.
yeah, let's smash this thing's jaw, prevent it from biting. D6, right?
A D6.
And how do these like weapon
Roll
arts work?
roll a D20 first. I'm gonna make you roll a D20 with advantage to make sure that you're actually hitting where you want to hit.
I got a
Otherwise, it'll
set.
just be, yeah,
I got a
7.
7. Do I re-roll that too for advantage? Is
Uh,
there any...
Not really. I don't
Okay,
think there's
that's fine.
a critical
7.
side of these. Alex could read the
Seven's
rules and
good.
tell me if I'm full of crap. Uh, yep, roll your D6 and tell me how you smash its jaw.
Oh, that's a 6 on the die. Huzzah! Better than that too. I got last time. Great, yeah. So tell you what.
What's it look like as you smash this thing's jaw?
So it like looks at me and it goes to do a hiss with its big ultra wide mouth, and I just hammer down into it, and it like breaks the front of this jaw completely apart and like rips the jaw, like it's like two halves are just like loose hanging there,
It's
completely
dangling.
broken, and its tongue lolls out, and maybe it's making a horrible, you can make a noise
It's
now.
doing the little bit of
Good.
blood spitting out. Yeah.
Pathetic.
All right.
Ew.
Ulrich, you are right up there. It has grabbed
I'm
you.
charged up.
Yeah,
I'm
do
gonna
it.
bring down the meteor great axe.
Okay. How much
That's
damage that do?
3d6. So I'm gonna roll.
Do it to
Nice
it.
roll.
Baby.
4, 5, 6, 15.
A
Oh.
palpable hit.
Right in
Uh,
the head.
right in
Bam!
the head. In that case, Ulrich, you knock it towards the wall and it kind of bounces off in the dark. It's still cackling, but you can see you've almost like caved in a side of its head. It's quite injured at this point.
There's more where that came from.
Marceline.
Yep, I'll swing again with the sword.
All right, roll that damage. Nice and simple.
6.
Oh my goodness. Another. So what's this looking like? It's not dead, but what's Marceline look like as she's doing this attack?
Kind of like get up under it and just run up through it. So the sword just kind of goes right up the center of it.
Wonderful. It just you're
Yep.
cutting into it, and at this point, it looks at you, and with its broken jaw just kind of open, it slams its head down towards Marceline. Uh, because it's not very happy. Marceline takes 6 damage as these teeth just slice into you, and you can feel like the blood from the creature running down your face. But then we're back to Imrafel.
All right, I will attempt to apply the killing blow by cutting this thing's head off.
All right.
I will
Let's
say, Demon,
roll.
you cloak yourself in righteousness. 5.
Oh, what do you hit it with? And why is it
This,
still alive?
damn it.
It is a thread of life, the
No, I
thinnest
wanted the
thread.
killing blow.
We
Yes.
need the killing blow. The killing blow gets bonus power.
Yep.
Yeah, I will. I think I cut upwards because it's bigger than me towards
Mhm.
its neck, and I cut its throat completely, but its spine is still hanging on.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's like trying to cackle, but it's just this gout of blood pouring out of it. And Valthros, it is your
Oh,
turn.
Valthros is getting the killing blow. Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't know, man.
Yeah, he doesn't. He could roll low, and then
Yeah, I
it's
could.
my killing blow.
I'll see the work that M. Raphael has done, but I'm disappointed he was just unable to finish this off. Weak. So I'll get up and use the stone axe. I'll like swing it and then down and try to like just blast the spinal cord apart. Uh,
All right. Go ahead and describe what that looks like. You literally cannot roll low enough
oh,
because it has one health left.
No.
uh, sure. I look directly at M. Raphael right in his eyes, and I say, "Weak," and I bam hit this thing and just blow chunks of spinal cord just explode and shit like that. And then the head falls, and I pick it up and go, "Whoa!" and show
Awesome.
them.
And as you do that, Valthros, you are holding up this head. There is a moment where you're elated, and the others see Valthros's blue eyes just blaze out like a lantern, and he almost has this glow to him. And Valthros, in the back of your mind, you hear, "Yes, the chosen God King, arise." And you're all hit by this wave of power. Valthros, we're going to start with you. You are at this moment the God King now. You are going to grow a couple feet taller. You will get a new trait that will have you roll in a minute with a D30. Gotta love a D30.
Hmm.
And what does it look like? What shows off your new divinity?
Well, I think in addition to the light lantern eyes and growing taller, it's like Valthros's complexion grows healthier. His hair begins like blowing like a paladin in like a breeze that's not there. And just this sense of magnificence comes over. Yeah, it comes over everybody like I don't want to play anybody's characters, but maybe they all have the feeling that they should bow, and whether they do or not, but like it forces everybody around to like have that just feeling of magnificence in their heads. You know what
Yeah,
I
the
mean?
the low blood absolutely
Yeah,
are just
exactly.
falling at everyone's feet here.
I will
Uh,
resist the urge to vow because I vow to no one.
Sick, sick. Yeah, yeah.
and let's go down the line. Marceline,
Hmm.
you also you are growing an extra couple feet. We'll be rolling a new trait. How do you change to show your new divinity?
I think, let's see, my fangs become more pronounced, my claws sharper, my beauty more breathtaking, I think. It's like the guts and the viscera just kind of wash away from me. And there's like an austerity to me, to a haughtiness, more so than before.
Mm.
I love it. Yeah, kind of the what is it, the Gladriel kind of look.
Yes,
You would
yes.
have a queen.
Yes. Ulrich, same deal for you, taller. What's the physical
Crystals.
change? Crystals.
Yeah, crystals start to burst out of my form. And these crystals, they remind you of the stars.
Beautiful.
I like it. Do they like appear out of where this creature had bit you, or is it like a crown? What are we dealing with here?
Yeah, it's definitely like a crown. Some along the spine.
Love it. Godzilla style.
Mm.
All right. And Imrafel.
I think I will sprout another set of wings. So now I have four wings, and all of my armor is going to sort of grow like gothic. What are those things called? Buttresses on like the shoulders and stuff like that.
Whoa.
And so my armor now looks like a cathedral, and it like has an optical illusion that almost looks like you're looking down a hallway when you look at my chest.
Oh, fantastic. That's very cool. And
Sick as
all of
hell.
you, right, on your character sheets, you can add 10 power, except for Valthros, who will get an additional 5, I believe. Double
Is there a
checking that
place for
number.
that
Yeah,
on our
that's right.
sheet?
Yep. Yes,
Probably
if
in
you
your
look under
kingdom.
Kingdom, yep, it's
I
got your
see.
power.
So 15
I
power.
see.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
And Valthros, you get 1 light dice. It is equivalent to half your land. In theory, we're supposed to round down, but I think you should have at least 1 die for this. In fact, the first page is always round down, but I'm making an exception.
Okay. So one light, what do I do anything with that right
So
this moment or?
not at the moment, but you can use it these light dice, these d6 to augment yourself. It is only ever going to augment your human body, so you can't like throw firebolts and stuff. But if you want to like superheat yourself or make like yourself like armor, a d6 can either like block the d6 of damage or it can last for d6 minutes. So you kind
I
of have a lot
see.
of narrative control over what that is and we'll work it out, but only you have that.
Solid gold.
And yeah, at this point, all the people are prostrating themselves on the ground. They are shocked at this whole course of action. Grozar is in the back. He's witnessed this thing along with the biographer, and he's uh shocked and terrified. What are the four of you doing?
I'll stand over Grozar and don't forget why you're alive today.
Yes, my liege. Yes, yes. Of course. We'll be sending.
You owe
Yes,
me.
I. Of course, I. Of course, anything is yours.
And I will tell him to hold out his hand.
Of course.
I will stab the palm
Ah,
and shake it.
like with the crystals, or
Yep.
and he's like pulls back the hand, and it's definitely like you can see a couple areas where these crystals have poked through, and he's nursing it near his chest. What about the rest of you?
I really liked this sword, so I think I'm probably gonna go examine some of the others to take with me back to my kingdom, honestly.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can start going through these. The one you picked, we'll say, is by far the nicest because you took your time
I
to do
did.
this. But yeah, you can pick up some more of these blood metal weapons. That's perhaps what a name that arises to you, the vampire. Vampire.
I like it.
How about Imrafel? And then we'll get to our new God King.
Uh, I think I'm going to go pick up the body of Craig and bring him with me. And I'll just be like, as one saint dies, another was born.
Oh, can't
These are
believe I named
certainly
him Craig.
auspicious times.
I love it. You're dragging it out. We'll say you brought some wagons and stuff that you can take him along with. And Valthros, what about you? You're awash in power.
I think it's an immediate thing. Like I take no moments before I call in my peons and and tell them strip the beast, bones, flesh,
Of
all of
course.
its. And then
Yes.
I would like to take a look at maybe where what's his face was sitting. Uh, Basically, I'm looking for information about older technologies or something like
Mm-hmm.
that, like anything useful.
Mm-hmm. Um, as you are looking through, so they're stripping down these animals. Valthros, you do find that beneath the cage, there is a circular grate in the floor that can be pulled aside, and it has a circular stairwell down.
Hmm. Once I have everything going, I think I will make that knowledge known to the other four gods that are there. I will say, um, perhaps our weak friend here has more secrets than he let on, and I'll begin going down into that tunnel.
All right.
I'd
To my
like my choice of this corpse as well, of this smiling beast.
Certainly, Lord Ulrich. Certainly.
Nice job.
Ah, yes. Well, indeed.
His
It
mind
was a
is
nice
elsewhere.
job, wasn't it?
Yes. I did it, me.
Some more than others. And I'll look at Marceline.
And I'll look at the Pig King as you say that.
Your puny blows, Lord Ulrich, if I remember correctly, paled in comparison to mine. So yes, some more than others contributed to this fight.
Do you want to back that up? Would
I
you
like to
like to
think we
have
just
a duel right now?
not worth my time.
Oh, Marceline is standing down from a duel.
And
Coward. Perhaps I won't be joining you for tea then.
I care not for the petty squabblings of lesser gods, and I descend down into the chamber.
And it's this will become a resource that you will be able to use through here is Valthros, you get down, you have the torch up, and you hit the bottom, and you can see there is an underground chamber filled with shelves of what look to be tablets of clay written in a language that you don't speak, and you're positive none of your subordinates do.
Hmm. Yes. For now, I will go through and for lack of a better term, I'll roll a spot hidden or just I'll look around, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just
See what I can see.
there does this is a wealth as you are looking through. You have enough knowledge of building and that sort of thing to recognize just various technological descriptions, histories, perhaps. There appear to be like numerical sort of lists of things. This is a vast treasure trove of all kinds of knowledge, but deciphering this is literally going to take generations.
It's fine by me.
And
I've slept for 1,000 generations and I can sleep for more. Perhaps when I awaken again, these fools will have figured it out.
interesting. Uh, Imrafel, you've taken this body of Craig out. Is there anything you're looking to do with it as you're setting it out?
Um, I think I'm gonna put him in the coffin with my heir. And
Ooh.
I will also obviously look through all his stuff and pass it on, um, I'll put his rings on and stuff like that.
Hmm. I like that a lot as you're putting all of these things on you. I'll get back to you. I think we'll probably have something of his that's interesting, but I'll probably use an Into the Odd book, so we'll we'll catch you up on some little trinket that you have from his body.
Perfect.
The people that are taking apart this creature, they pull back. Ulrich and Balthros, you'd asked about that specifically. They are doing a very big like bow. We're sorry, Lord. Your fury was so great that you destroyed some of the beast's measurable things that we could get, but we were able to pull its scalp off. We thought perhaps we could make a headdress of some kind, and a we were able to pull apart its claws. We might be able to make a knife out of these things, and that would basically net you. You have two white talon knives. I'll put those in the chat. Those for a dex, an art cost of 2. Remember, that's a dex cost when you use it. You may attack and add an additional d4 for each roll above 1, up to 3 dice total.
Hmm. Okay. So 2 white talon knives, and you said a headdress as well, right?
Right, and the headdress gives +1 initiative, half your will.
I
Interesting.
I will say to Ulrich, I'll say, Lord Ulrich, it seems as if we can make 2 knives and but a single headdress. I'm more than willing to offer the headdress to you. Perhaps you will treat us favorably in our upcoming business.
Hmm. I will accept your offer.
So I'll take one of the claws, and then he can have the other knife and scalp.
Okay. I am just wondering about the rules. Don't we get a choice of all of the things that the monster
You
offers?
normally would, but you destroyed them to increase your power basically as you were going. And I
Hmm, okay.
probably messed up the math on that now that I'm saying it out loud. So don't come after me, internet. I guarantee you I messed it up.
Get in
But
the comments,
get in the
everybody.
comments. Say next time I'll do double damage for destroying that or something like that. In
Okay.
my mind, it was going to do things like, oh, it couldn't claw you or something, but you finished it off much faster. If people are tuning in for the first time, I roll like complete garbage. So this should not surprise you that the first monster was not at all deadly. Anyways,
I'll take
uh
the headdress, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that is +1 initiative, but half your will. And that's kind of what you're finding in this area. You now realize amongst you that this kingdom of Tord is pretty much up for grabs. This guy was in charge of most of the Marble Flats, most likely. This area at this point you don't think has a lot of people, but is very dangerous. So this is a potential area for expansion. Is there anything you guys are immediately wanting to do as you are exiting this area of the world?
I think because I was impressed by Marceline's fine hits on the monster, I'll give her one of the most uh, expensive looking rings that the guy had on.
A beautiful token, Lord Imrafel. Thank you very much.
Of course.
You know that your young princeling, we have between Valthros and myself, we have some very fine fighters in our land. Perhaps some education or time on the island would do him some good.
Mm, perfect. Although I wouldn't want don't think it's too much of a risk. I think he is too pure to be corrupted by the never mind the sinful nature of the island, of course. I'll have him sent over.
We welcome him.
Actually, I think it's a female
Ah,
heir that I have.
we welcome her.
Imrafel is it's difficult for Imrafel to worry
Sorry,
about such things.
she's so horrible looking that I can't really.
All right. Anything from the others, or we can get and I'd like to run through a life step event as people are going through. Uh, we'll be able to start next time with a little bit of reacting to this, I think, but let's go ahead and look at the life steps. So you should all have your pamphlets. You return from the dark, a corpse of extinguished hate in tow. Now your people call out to leadership instead of violence. They plead for the light of the God King to guide them. You take seat upon your throne and live a life of simplicity as the quiet years fall as fast as your hair. For those of you that have hair and can, do that noise. So at this point, what you will do is age up every named character along a life step. So Imrafel, that probably mostly matters to you, and I believe someone else had a new person that they had mentioned as well. Who's Merrick's?
Valthros had like a named person, right?
Yeah, Saret, right?
Sarah the
Yep,
stonesmith, yeah.
yep. He will age up as well. So just as you're doing this, in theory, your people in your kingdom are yours to keep track of. So just make sure you kill them off as they go.
Would he be a counselor? Is that what that is, or is that a specific thing, counselors?
Yeah, you could put him under counselor.
Okay.
Some counselors have special abilities. For him, we might have him be like kind of a building expert of some kind. Is if you're trying to do things, maybe you'll get an advantage with him. No one is yet passing from elder to death because you're all young. If you are
So we're
not,
now
yeah,
adults, is that correct?
yes,
Okay.
you were young adults before, you are full adults now. If your character
Hey.
is not aging from infant to child or elder to death, which is a fun way to say it, you get to choose a downtime activity. So
Ooh.
in the kingdom tab of the character sheets, you'll have 5 options: cultural, familial, martial, rulership, and exploration. And feel free as we're going through these, you'll get a passive benefit, you'll roll an event, and we'll role play through that. And then after that is when we'll get to spending power. So let's talk about the events. So cultural is you're going to spend your time learning of the arts, science, and spirit. Perhaps you evolve the world around you or the world evolves you. You're going to bask in the light of your lord. You gain plus D4 favor. So for now, I don't believe anybody has a specific deity. You need a you need to build a temple district for that. So that might not yet be what you want to do. I don't know. You might still want to do it. Familial, you spend your time with your family and friends, growing and creating new memories, and more importantly, connections. You would produce an offspring. So that is a way to produce an offspring outside of the normal way you can. Oh, interesting. They should have another way too. I'll have to check that. Okay, that's a separate thing. We'll get back to that. Marshall, you spend your time training your body and mind in the art of battle. High stakes duels, tactics, drills, plain old exercise, you did it all. Battle grit, hardened spirit, and you get plus D6 HP permanently. Ulrich, doesn't apply to you. You can't gain HP.
Oh,
Boo.
that's okay.
Yeah. Rulership, you spend your time ruling from an ivory tower of gods. It is, of course, your divine duty to keep the low bloods in line while breaking the dark. You garner prestige and respect. You get D4 power. And the last one, which was included in a zine update, is exploration. You pass your years journeying the world, pushing the edges of the map and the boundaries of our knowledge. Choose a region. The DM must roll an encounter and fully share their knowledge and understanding of it.
Hmm.
So that would be a way to explore the world, and with whichever one you take, you'll also get a random event. Does anybody want to start?
So I'm looking at a bunch of this stuff, Nathan. I want to make sure I understand because I
Yeah.
see there's like choose one per life step. Like I know that's a different thing, but it's like, are we doing all of these things too?
You're picking one of the downtime effects. So basically,
Okay.
you are doing one of those 5 options between cultural,
I
familial, martial. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I guess I'm looking at this pamphlet too, and I also see like you may attempt to breed. Is that under familial or is that
It
like
is,
two different
yeah,
things
that
to
is a
attempt?
different thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then
it is
power is
kind
a
of
different thing
interesting.
also.
Correct.
Okay.
Power we will get to next. So, I
Got it.
see your
Got it.
question.
Got it. Got
Yes, we will do all of the steps. Um, I believe the life stage, that breeding side, boy, see, it feels weird to say it. When you're having a kid, you will do that during the aging step
it.
next
Okay.
time. I just didn't see that on there. So,
Got it.
yeah, let's talk downtime events. Who's thinking what?
Hmm. My personal opinion is between martial and rulership. So uh, I think I'm going to go martial.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You get plus D6 HP permanently. And what does that look like as you're marshaling your area?
So I think, yeah, I think we're getting to a point in Zelaros that the citadels are being made, but at the same time, the population, the army, and myself all need to be prepared for whatever comes our way. And so to that end, it's massive amounts of training. It's everybody forced to be in the military to some degree. All of that kind of stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm seeking out on the island maybe like um better and better foes and hunts and things like that to do. I don't
How,
know.
yeah, how does Laval react to that, Marceline?
Um, I think we would perceive it as something of a threat. Actually, this kind of rolls in line with what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
So I was thinking rulership, in which I spend my time kind of making laws and things that would kind of benefit my people, and in that time also, if it's possible, kind of drawing up like agreements with Zelaros and talking about like trade and things that we can kind of, protection versus trade, that kind of stuff. And like, so that is my perspective. I want to do some rulership and create some
Yeah.
laws, make things a little bit better for the people that I'm ruling, because, happy people are less likely to rise up, I guess. And then
Mm-hmm.
try to build an alliance a little bit with Zeller, something more official on paper than just kind of
Yeah.
this weak alliance that we've had going because we share the same real estate.
I love the idea that like we're the protection of the island, like
Hmm.
kind of a thing, you know. That's
Okay.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
I was thinking yeah. Okay. Never mind. But yeah, no, that
No,
works.
no,
That's
go ahead.
perfect. No, I was thinking of the whole like PowerPoints and how to spend it. And I was also thinking of like building up trade and stuff like that. So it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're kind of like the tradesmen and you're kind of like the protection, at least for now. Then yeah.
For now.
I love it.
Yeah.
Both of you go ahead and roll a D8, please.
1.
7.
Okay. All right. Well, Marceline,
Mm-hmm.
for every great leader, there sits 20 more mental wrecks of power and malign. Stress forces a random trauma onto you.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a D20 and let's figure out what trauma you have encountered.
1.
Oh my. Uh, auto cannibalism.
Oh,
You must eat at least an ounce of yourself per day. Yum.
What?
All right.
that's wild.
So,
Now it's
yeah, an ounce is a lot.
what the?
So, what's
Okay.
that look like for Marceline?
Great question.
You're just getting more and more vampire-y
I know. I
every.
was like, wait, if I could just like, but then it's like that fuels a hunger, right? If I'm drinking my
Yeah.
own blood, which just means I'm more ravenous and killing even more of my subjects.
Does your own flesh regenerate? Like, do you eat
Probably not. I
yourself and
assume
then
not. That feels a
okay.
little OP otherwise. No, I think I'm just like drinking my own blood. So
Yeah, I like that.
I like the idea of my flesh regenerating. It just feels a little bit powerful. So
I might not have it. Yeah, I think we could say you're probably healing a little faster than normal. Just because, yeah, otherwise, drink an ounce of blood a day, you're probably gonna die. I guess I'm
yeah.
not an expert, but yeah, that's
Something to not
wild.
Google.
There's about eight, I think it's 8 pints of blood in the human body, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
How do you know that?
And I don't
Well, it's the auto cannibalism, dude. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, you've got plenty. That's plenty. You said 8 pints.
8 pints,
pints.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like 1% of your. That's less than 1% of your blood a day. That's
Yeah.
how do you think you're? Is this like a secret thing you do, or are your followers just like chill with this?
I like the idea that I boldly do it and my followers are also doing it and they just don't regenerate like I do. So it's just like, not
Yeah.
great, but I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah. They're all pale,
Yeah.
fainting in the streets once in a while. I love it. Absolutely. And let's see, you said a 7 for
Yes.
no and Marshall. You performed a great feat for the locals.
Whoa.
You're going to get 4 non-replenishable light dice.
Whoa. Okay.
So, what the heck did you do that was so impressive?
Jesus Christ. I don't know because I hate my populace. So I can't imagine I was doing anything good for them. Um, yeah, I think maybe at this point I have so subjugated these people that they're so on board with it. Like they have drank the flavor aid and they're like, yes, we must be strong. And they're so excited about that. And everybody's like, uh, as opposed to Laval, where everybody's gone and fading in the street, all of my populace is like jacked as hell, and they're all excited about it. So I don't know. Does that make any sense? Should we go
Yeah.
weirder with
I
it?
think what did you build? Because you're kind of a building character. What did you build that so impressed them?
We built a fantastic, like massive, high walled, like a wall around our civilization that's like 200 feet tall. It's covered in spikes. It's covered in that. I'm hoping I was able to get some of that corpse stone from Ulrich.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, these
Yeah.
screaming faces are set in this wall, and it's this big, like, fuck you to everybody else around. Like, do not come in here. You're going to die. And everybody feels
Okay.
safe and secure.
Don't come in here. You're gonna
Yeah.
die. How welcoming.
Okay,
Yep.
absolutely. I'm gonna make you come up with a name for that particular castle because that's very cool.
Okay.
But
Right.
you don't have to do that immediately.
Right. So
Let's,
I
yeah,
get real quick, I get four
yep,
PowerPoints. So I had or light
or
dice. Yeah.
4 light dice. Yep. So you
So
are
I
up
have
to 5.
so I have one permanent and then four that are get
Yep.
right. And then for my marshaling two, I rolled for my hit points. You said D6. I got
Yes.
5 on that.
There you
So
go.
is that permanent or is that like
That is
temporary?
permanent. Yep.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll take it.
Or are there any benefits to doing the whichever the
Rulership, you should get plus D4 power
got it.
and roll better than you have been. Please, I'm begging you. 2 ones
I
in a
was
row.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
Holly, I fucking hit the lottery there, and you're drinking your own blood. That's an insane switch. That's the dynamic is nuts.
I'm sure
I
that no hard feelings will be coming out of
Of
that.
course
I'm
not.
sure.
I cannot wait to see what these other guys roll. This is bananas. I love it.
Yeah, let's cross the continent to Ulrich or Imrafel. Who wants to go first?
I'll go now because now's the time to build the kingdom, get the trust of the people.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be a very harsh journey if I am to ever return home. So I will focus on rulership.
Okay. Go ahead and get plus D4 power and then roll a D8.
Okay, D8 is a 4.
Okay. A tour de force of political string pulling. Force a ruler or politician into a lucrative marriage with either you or one of your children. And if you need, like, when we're talking about this world too, like I've pointed out on the map, there's like Israelia, there's Gludshire. Tord doesn't have much left in it, but there's also a lot of other villages around too. If you want to define something nearby that you've done or something like that, it's open to that.
Uh, I'd love to offer this to Zelaros to make our bond stronger.
Yes,
I think
yes.
that would be quite good for us.
I agree completely.
You are the builder, I'm the provider.
Yes. Yes.
All
So
right.
you can have my one of my councilmen, Marith.
Marith.
Yes.
What type of counsel does he or she provide?
Logistics. I don't know if it's actually giving you a councilman, but this character is now
Yeah.
wed to one of your characters.
Right, great. I think maybe you know what? It's my Sarat the Stonesmith is now wed to this religious Marith, and so maybe they'll collaborate on a citadel or a cathedral or something. That'd be sweet.
Great.
Very cool.
Married alive. And as for power, let me get
Yeah.
two power.
Okay. I love that people are making connections with the God King. Like, yes, buddy, friend.
Or friends.
We're friends. Everybody's
Forever.
friends. Forever.
Making moves.
Imrafel, how about you? What are you doing?
I think that I'm going to do Marshall, and I'm going to focus on building up a navy because I'm a water creature. So I'm going to have most of my people live along the coastline going towards Tord, and I'm going to bring the body of the saint to my my town of Abalon and tell them that we have to soon do a great crusade to retake our holy land of Tord.
Oh, I love it. All right. Are you doing anything to preserve the body? Just out of curiosity.
Do the beetles like maybe they could live inside the body
Oh,
and
okay. I like
preserve
that.
it weirdly, like dried of all the blood?
Oh, I like that a lot. They almost make like a little nest out of the saint.
Exactly, yeah.
That's not creepy at all. You're just looking at him and his like little coffin and a beetle crawls out of his nose and to his Ugh. All right. I love it. Go ahead then and roll a d6 for your hit points that you gain. And then roll a d8.
6. Holy
All
crap.
right. 6 HP.
Awesome.
D8.
A d8.
Um, 7.
7. All right, we're seeing it again. Performed a great feat for the locals. You get 4 non-replenishable light dice. And that's those are the dice that you can spend to augment yourself
Cool.
in a ways. So what kind of feat does Imrafel perform?
I think I performed a miracle for the local people of because we were investing so much money in the military, we didn't have any food. So I went over to the our poor stocks of uh, deep sea lifeless fish, and I multiplied them.
Ooh. I can't imagine that the fish you made looked normal either. Like they're all these
No,
mutated.
they look like basically like angler fish and like horrible deep sea creatures.
Yikes. I like it. Yeah, you've got a couple. So Valthros and Imrafel have both really impressed their people. There is maybe a more leadership side for Valthros. You are inspiring them to build, build, build. And Imrafel, you're getting more of a blind devotion and
Yeah,
trust.
perfect. Perfect.
All right. Love it. Now, if you had any monuments or mercantile districts, you generate power, the cowardly way to gain power. You may now spend your power on one option from the power list. You could also create a monument now following the rules on the same page, if you so desire.
Now, what
So,
are the rules for building a monument? Because I was looking at that page and I couldn't find
yeah,
anything.
it's the third paragraph down. So it calls it
So it's for free.
the secondly more cowardly way of gaining power is the construction of monuments. These structures and locales of great historical legend can only be built once per ruler, can only be built on top of settlements as districts, and provide 1 power each life step.
Right. And it says you may also, so that means you can do both. You can spend your power to,
Correct.
and
And
then you
make a
can build them on.
monument.
All
Yep.
right. So like I don't see why you don't make a monument because it's free.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm
All right.
looking at.
Mhm.
I'm just double checking, but that looks right.
So it's a little difficult this textbook. This
It's a little learning. I
yeah, of
think
course.
we'll get through it fine. But yeah, then you describe basically what that monument looks like. In terms of spending power, I'll just run through it real quick. You can only choose once per life step. The first, you may spend 1 power to seek a counselor, spy master, stewards, and generals. You may spend 3 willpower to create a settlement, just a very basic villages, farms, and that would be on a neighboring hex. So you guys can see the map. You can mark which hex you'd like to expand into. A luxury district, which would be gardens, palaces, lighthouses, that sort of thing, is going to give you 1 light dice to its owner, but it replaces a settlement when you place it down that costs 3 victory points. An academy district increases your tech level 1 step over the national, so you'll always be 1 ahead of everybody else. And that also does not actually look like it replaces a settlement, which is interesting. A border district is also 3. That's merchants, guards, walls. It's a walled off area. It's +2 defense bonus if you were to go to war. 5 power points is a workshop district. You'd place that upon a natural resource hex to manipulate it, to harvest it, all that sort of thing. We'd go through what you're kind of looking for there. Another 5 power for a military district, forts, barracks, outposts. That lets you train units for war. There's a whole little side thing we can play if y'all ever go to war. We won't worry about it today. You may build a religious district, shrines and temples, that expands your god's influence. So that would be where you can actually start gaining favor with gods and bonuses to a certain action. And then lastly, for 8 power. The most expensive is the mercantile district. Piers, markets, trade posts, that sort of things. That's going to give you a power each life step, but you can only place it adjacent to water, which all of you almost are. I think, Ulrich, your kingdom's the only one that is not currently on the water.
That can we shift it a little? No.
Yeah, we can. We absolutely can. I just kind of put them randomly on
All right,
the
I'll
map.
do that.
Yeah, mark where you want it.
I'll put it right here.
Oh, do you not have whiteboard access? Can I not see it? Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yep, I see it. The purple little. Yeah, we'll move you over
X
there.
marks the spot.
I like it. So that's a lot of talking. Who
A lot of
wants to
yapping.
choose their yeah, who wants to choose
I'll
their power
choose.
spend first? Yeah.
So first, I'll build a monument where the spaceship crashed. There's gonna be an enormous stone corpse rock cathedral erected. And for the final piece, right? The piece that at the top of this cathedral, I'm gonna have the head architect unalive themselves right on top of it, so they turn to
Ooh.
stone
It is
as their magnum
complete.
opus.
Metal as hell, dude. That's awesome.
And then I will build a mercantile district for 8 power.
Ooh.
I'm making power plays.
So you are setting up your like what does it look like for you, I guess?
Well, it looks like well, corpse rock manufacturing plants where people who reach of a certain age, they oh god, I'm moving this map.
You churn
Yeah.
them through. Oh my.
Yeah. I mean they're serving their country even after death, which is one of the greatest and most sought after uh honors.
I like it. Yeah, the corpse rock is the talk of the town. The talk of everything good is built out of corpse rock.
It's strong.
You really just sleep like amazing in a corpse rock house, I can imagine. Okay, I love it. How about someone else?
I'm
I'll go
thinking.
then. Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Holly.
Yep. No, go.
Yeah.
You go.
Oh God. Uh, yeah. Okay. Great. Of course, I'm going to build a monument. That's going to be sick as hell. Uh, yeah. Basically, it's this giant like citadel kind of fortress thing, but it's all carved out of black stone, and it's like looks like thousands of human figures like holding aloft all this stuff, and at the top is like a 300-foot tall statue of myself, like standing powerful, looking over everybody in the volcano um, down below, which is also like a fortress, this thing. And then I'm going to spend my power on an academy district. I feel that a populace that is fit and ready for war should also be educated to further boost my whoa, there's a cat. To further boost my my population's I don't know, impressive. They need to be
Yeah,
educated too.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Very good. A rules note that I was double checking while we're talking about it. You will be replacing your current district with these, and for the future, you will need to expand out your settlements for the next district you create. So all districts replace settlements. So
So you have
for the
to
Oh,
have
future.
built a settlement first.
Yep. But
Got it.
you all have the settlement on your hex is the way I'd treat it.
Got it.
but so we can have the monument and the academy district and that big wall thing I built, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's all kosher because I can expand out if you need to.
Yeah, no, I like that. I think you've built basically a massive academy in your area out of
Yeah.
this. It's terrifying.
And so that reduces my power by 3, correct?
That sounds
Perfect.
correct.
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Marceline, what about you? You had a thought?
Yeah, I was actually also going to build an academy district. So
Oh, twinsies.
One's Harvard, one's that other one.
Brown.
MIT.
Yeah, what's a Lavalian academy look like?
um I think there's a high focus on the arts more than anything else.
Hmm.
Like music, painting, music, textiles, that kind of thing.
Excellent. I like to assume that Marceline herself is a focus of a lot of the like there's kind of that like uh, trying brown nosing essentially where they're like, look at this beautiful painting I made for you, my queen.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Do you think your artists like the citadel and the 300 tall statue that's just staring down into the valley?
No, they consider it to be tacky and gauche, as does Marceline, but she doesn't express that.
Fair's fair.
Are you creating a monument?
Um, no.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yes, keeping in mind that you will get a monument per ruler, so you got time. You'll live
Yeah.
forever.
Oh,
And Imrafel, what are you spending your power on?
Well, I gotta build a religious district
Yeah.
because otherwise, what the fuck am I doing? And then I'm also gonna invest in a settlement because I want to build another thing
You
ASAP.
only get one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Then I'll just build a religious district.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So Abalon.
This guy's
is
going for the religious victory.
Exactly.
All
I'm
right.
just
Yeah.
gonna ascend on all you. I
He
don't even
T
need this
poses into the
territory.
sky.
Exactly.
What does your religious district look like?
Hmm.
And in fact, I'll make you think of it. Let's talk a little bit about gods. Specifically, each god can hold lordship of up to 3 domains. So you get to choose a noun for the god that you have. And when you are rolling those, like if you're, say, doing nature, right? And you are doing a nature based roll, you can spend favor to re-roll the dice.
Hmm.
So it gives you a benefit to work for that. Unfortunately, uh, there are also taboos that you get, right? So you have to balance taboo versus that, and you get to create all of those. You can, and basically, you gain favor by doing things for the god to make them happy.
Okay. Um. I'll have to think about it.
I like it. Yeah, let's give you some time because that's a big question of who's your god.
Yeah.
It's Cthulhu. All right. All right. Yeah, we'll pick up next time with you on that of what kind of um religion you're sprouting there. And the last thing you need to do is everybody advance your tech step by 1, so it would go from 2.1 to 2.2.
And does that change for those of us who built academies?
For those that built academies, I believe you get an extra one. Yes. So both of
sure.
you would then be at 2.3.
Got it.
Awesome.
And what that means is for Ulrich and Imrafel, you have gained access, your populace has gained access to advanced furnaces, which is hot enough to smelt the blood metal that you have started to discover out of Tord. And for Marceline and Valthros, you've started to discover how to write. Congratulations.
Yay.
It's interesting with the tomb start is, do you guys know how to write? Like I'm not quite sure, but the populace is getting behind it now.
Nice.
Excellent. Is there anything, I believe that's the end of the life step event. Is there anything that people want to highlight in their kingdom as we're going into this? Because at this point, years have passed, people are growing up. Is there a short event we want to cover?
I think I would, I don't know if this counts as a short event. I think I'd probably start creating my successor.
Okay. What's
Yes,
that?
it does
Yeah.
say from going between young adult to adult
Oh,
or
yeah.
adult to elder, you can attempt to have an heir.
Yes. Yes, that's perfect. Go ahead and anybody that wants to
That's a
attempt an
D6,
heir,
right?
yep, a D6. Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah. All right, let's see if something horribly goes wrong.
Yeah, I like the idea of I'm just
5.
creating a person that already exists.
Yeah, yeah. Ulrich, success. And we'll go over exactly what you do. I believe it's in your pamphlets, but we'll describe it for the viewing audience.
4.
4. Success. You are able to make a new heir. So what that means is the new infant, they say infant here, for Marceline, it might be a little different. And
Mhm.
Ulrich too as well, because you are not necessarily embracing a child here. You might be turning a young adult or something. Um, go ahead and average stats between parents. Uh, we haven't really defined how that's gonna work. So roll 2d4s, and we're going to the
Ooh,
difference.
7.
Yeah, so take those two numbers, subtract the first, or
Okay.
yeah,
Huh?
the first minus the second.
Okay.
So
Okay, 1.
yep, yep, and then add that onto the stat. So do that for all three stats, if that makes sense. So Holly, what did you roll on your d4s?
I rolled a 2 and a 5. No, sorry. Oh my God, a 2 and a 3. Sorry, 1.
All
So
right.
that's 1.
Yep. But did you roll the 3 second or first?
Yes. I
Then it
rolled the
is
3
a
second.
yep. Then is a -1,
Oh, good.
and then yeah. But you do it for all three stats, so it could improve.
Oh, okay. I improved 2 stats and went down in 1.
Okay.
-100.
Okay. My God, Marceline cannot catch a break this lifestyle.
How do we like indicate this? Oh, there's an offspring
Yep.
thing.
That is a great
Gross.
question. I should add. I'll look at adding a little thing for offspring. I don't know if I gave them stats. I should
So
have.
in my breeding, I know I already had an error, but I guess I rolled twins. I got a 6. So does that
Okay.
mean I have 2 errors?
You make 2 more heirs. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll just say that the one that I have counts as
Yeah,
1.
I buy that.
So
And
I think
Wait, I so is the stat itself -1? I'm trying to understand that.
subtract 1 from your current stat.
My stat.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And
I'm
then
yeah.
I guess
We
just
need to roll that last trait still, don't we?
oh,
Oh,
E30,
yes.
right? I've been waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can just get the items at our tech level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right away. All right.
Yeah.
I'm to augment my
Yeah.
meteor axe.
Do you want to post that to the group there, Alex, since you're looking at it right now?
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh,
Because everyone will have access to these weapons at that tech level 2. And then yeah, in that case, Valthros, what'd you roll for your D30?
Oh, let me roll it. That's a 1. Jesus Christ.
Oh, great news. In your godhood, in your ascension, your increased power, you're now ambidextrous.
Oh, that is pretty good, actually. Sweet. Is
So
that a
you can,
genetic trait or
that is, yeah, it's a genetic trait, is you can use a
ambidextrous?
one-handed weapon in each hand, but you can still only attack once per round. So in this case, the thing you're asking about each of you has a blood trait that will go through your entire lineage. As we go more in traits, and you might start having more like uh group, like we might start defining the other side of these genetic pairings. That's where we're going to start figuring out which traits people keep. Let's see who else rolled a d30 for their godlike trait.
Are we all rolling? Oh, okay.
All right,
Yes,
let
indeed.
me roll a d30.
Yes, it's kind of interesting. Each god blood has 2 traits, including or not including their blood trait. So you'll end up with 3.
Okay, I got a 12.
Ooh, a 12 is going to be not a trauma. I was about to give you a trauma. Oh,
Jesus.
you are also like Marceline. You cannot fall asleep. You cannot
Oh.
fall unconscious by any means, including sleep. It is agrysomnia. I think you guys are rolling a 12 just to make me take another swing at pronouncing that.
Well,
I rolled a 14.
Okay. A 14, a crystal voice. You have a
Ooh,
2
makes
in
sense.
6 chance to sway non-godbloods to your opinion.
Still voice.
17?
17. Ooh, blood nose. I swear you are rolling insanely like a vampire. You can see the stats and hit points of man or beast.
Oh man, you can just wait for someone to get
Ooh.
low
That's right.
HP and just.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Tricky.
All right. Well,
Coming for you, Ulrich.
You're the one who threw some shade first, and I'm
Yeah.
petty, so I'm never gonna let it go.
Oh, I'm petty as shit, so you know I'm coming for you because I don't forget
Come
anything.
duel me. Come duel me. I'll squash you.
I like it. All right. Well, let's end the session there as we are going to be meeting up again years later with the 4 of you still coursing with that power. You're still literally towering over anybody else in your court as you start to feel the urge once more to perform a hunt. You realize that this creature that you killed, you must do it again. You simply must. The rules dictate it. All right. And in that case, we'll wrap up this session. We hope you'll join us next time for another play of Kingdoms on RPG Reanimators. It's a live actual play. See you next time. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the RPG Reanimators podcast for horror scenario reviews, interviews, gaming discussions, and more.